Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back again to our speaking practice group. We already have our moderator and our speaker here, but okay. Mr. Agus, have you got Mr. Acep CV already?
Oh no, sorry.
Not yet, yeah. Let me send it to you. Just a moment. Let me send you right now, Mr. Agus. Okay. Yeah. Just a moment. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And
Okay, thank you.
okay. That's the CV of from Mr. Acep. And then wait, our session for tonight. Just a moment. Where is the Mr. Acep? Do you still have like a rundown? I'm looking for the rundown, but I suddenly don't have. Do you still have them?
Okay, let me check. Oh,
Okay.
wait a second.
I want to give to Mr. Agus, but I forget to send it to him. You don't know the rundown yet, yeah, Mr. Agus, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm also looking for that. There you go. Thank you very much, Brother Nabil. You're my savior. Okay. So, Mr. Agus, this is the rundown for tonight. I send it to your WhatsApp and also to the chat box. So, everyone, we will begin our sessions tonight with Mr. Agus as the moderator and Mr. Acep as the speaker. Please, Mr. Agus.
Okay, hello everyone.
Probably you can put the microphone nearby your mouth, Mr. Agus. Yeah, there you go.
How about now?
Much better, please.
Okay. Okay, hello everyone. For everyone who don't know me, my name is Agus Rahman. People usually call me Agus. I am from Gorontalo. Currently, I am the moment for preparing my master graduate study for the next year. And for tonight, I will be the moderator for this speaking practice session. Among us, there is Mr. Acep Usman Abdullah. Before I am going to give him the time, let me introduce him by read his brief CV. Mr. Acep Usman has graduated from IPB University for his bachelor degree in animal science, and then he continued to master degree in animal science in the University of Queensland in 2018 with Australian Award Scholarship. And he also got several certification professional courses. Amongst them are digital marketing from Genius Space Indonesia. That's the newest. And for the expertise, Mr. Acep has several expertise in digital field, like digital content creator and mentor, digital marketer, and etc. And also, Mr. Acep has already have experience in public speaking, youth, and community development. For tonight, we will have sharing session with Mr. Acep, talking about sorry, I'm trying to read. Okay, we are talking about oh my God, where is trying to you are talking about sorry,
Improving digital literacy.
oh yeah, there is a bit late in my computer. I'm trying to reach the poster. Sorry. Then before I go, I give the time to Mr. Acep. Let me read the rundown for tonight. From for the first, uh, me as a moderator will read the rundown, which is now, and then we will continue to the sharing session. Then we will have Q&A session. After that, we will conduct breakout room for speaking practice. Okay, for the time I will give to Mr. Acep Usman.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Agus Rahman, for moderating this session, and also for all people. Good evening here, and it's been nice to be a speaker again in our learning community speaking practice group, and also thanks so much for Mr. Dennis for the opportunity, and also for all facility that he has given for us. So in this evening, I would like to share my experience in training development of youth or young people in Fansmillenials Networks or Fansmillenial community. And just recently, I also shared about bullying and harassments in one of communities, even in Sukabumi. So I would like to use this opportunity to reshare again, but in English version, and also with more deep analysis in terms of digital literacy. So let me share what I would like to share this evening. I have a couple of slides here. Wait a second. Okay. So I want to make sure if everybody is seeing my screen now.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Dennis. All right. Okay, as mentioned by the moderator, this is the title that I would like to go through with this presentation, Improving Digital Literacy to Address Cyberbullying. And okay, so just quick recap. So I would like also to say World Children Day, Happy World Children Day on 20th November, so a couple of days ago. And also just recently, I think 2 days ago, yesterday, by the way, International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So this is important to commemorate because we know that harassments, bullying, and any kind of misconduct, I think, should be considered as something that we need to avoid and we need to prevent, and also we need to heal if there are communities or our friends experience this certain of experience. So this is the outline of my presentation. I will start with talking about current condition, and then continue with problem analysis, and then solution idea based on the analysis that I have performed. And then at the end, I would like also to show how the solution is implemented. So it's kind of strategy that I have applied in Fansmillenials Networks. So I would like also to see to invite you to see the data here. I haven't translated to English yet, but I believe everybody can get the point here. This is the data of harassments from the ministry and from the related ministry. As we can see now, 2023, there are 24,304 cases. So it's not only just bullying, I guess it's a general harassment or sexual assault or sort of misconduct behavior that's been reported to the related ministry. And I also would like to see how the proportions between men and women in terms of victim and also the perpetrator. As we can see here, mostly women are the victim of the misconduct, and the perpetrator itself is mostly men, right? So as you can see the difference between the left and the right. And also based on the age status, mostly children. So victims, mostly children. So there is 57.6% are children, while the perpetrator are adult. And also would like to see more specifically in West Java cases. That's the thing that my interest, because I live in West Java now. So I'm showing now different regencies that show different cases and in terms of number, and Depok is the most cases happen there. This probably because a lot of reports there. It doesn't really show that Depok has the highest in reality. This probably other regencies underreported, right? But let's be clear now. Look at the data. I think Depok is the most 100 cases. Just recently, 2023. Sorry, 2018. Sorry. So I'm showing the difference year. In 2019, Bandung is the most one, but in terms of the number in total, I think there is an increase. There was an increase from 2018 to 2019. Also in 2022, just last year, we got 2001 cases, and Bandung is the leader, I mean, dominant. And then currently 2023, there is an increase becoming 2057. We still have 2 months left, November and December. It's most likely that the cases increase. And the dominant regency here, Depok again. So it's quite similar with the 2018 in terms of the proportion amongst regencies or cities in West Java. And so this is something that of interest because I live in Sukabumi at the moment, and this is the current report 2023. 41 cases harassment against children. I think mostly is bullying. So that's become my my interest to dig more. How did it happen, and what's the cause factors, and what the government has done, and what other organizations that can support this to be to eliminate this case. So I started with problem analysis. So let's define together, because there are a lot of definitions regarding bullying. So I want you also to participate in interpreting what is bullying. So anybody here wants to give a certain keyword regarding what is bullying, you can type on the chat box here, or you can also unmute your microphone and say what is bullying. So anybody wants to try, please, what is bullying? Or you can give some keyword, what is bullying, and we can define together later on.
Kak Rodiran lagi Kak.
Okay, I just thought that he would like to she would like to give a definition. So anybody wants to? Okay, Mr. Dennis, please.
I think bullying is any kind of physical, verbal, or activities that try to underestimate people, so the people will feel down basically and get some traumatics. I think. Sorry if
That's
the definition is probably not that good.
Oh, no, I think it's good. I mean, a lot of keywords that similar with the ones that I have prepared, which is great. Thanks, Mr. Dennis. I would like to see on the chat. Okay, doing or saying something mean, all right. Okay, it would be right. I mean, this is the actions, physical action and also verbal action from Optimus Prime. So let's look at together. I gave some keyword as well because a lot of definition out there is quite universal. So this is a list of keywords. Everybody you can see bullying is actions either verbal or non-verbal or physical or non-physical, and the uniqueness or the special characteristic of bullying is repetition. So it repeatedly occurred. It repeatedly occurred. And then intention, of course. So it's not by accident. So the perpetrator do by intention, purposely. And another characteristic of bullying, there is imbalance in terms of power or power disparity. So there is a dominant person there, more influence, has more influence or power over someone else. And also, as mentioned by Optimus Prime and also Mr. Dennis, can be in the form of verbal, using words, or even physical things, using actions against someone or a group of people. And of course, it's harmful. Distress, as Mrs. Dennis said, it would be traumatic effect to the victims. And of course, in general, would be a risk to the victim's well-being because of damage in physical or in physiological state. And then, interestingly, what I would like to highlight as well here, there is a pattern of behavior. So for those who study in physiology or in a kind of related field, I think this can be learned. This can be studied well, and it should be prevented with the right strategy. And based on the data that I learned, the current condition in the world, 1 in 3 children experience bullying. It's fantastic. And 1 in 3 children commit bullying, means that it's kind of something common. But now, as the knowledge developed and people realize this is harmful and it's not good because of this is included as a kind of misconduct. So I think now people realize and people report to the related ministry or related agency. So I also would like to give some information regarding the characteristic of bullying perpetrator. I'm not really sure about code underneath, but it should be something that little bit superior or different with others. They want to dominate perhaps. And then lack of respect for other people, wants to show power, wants to impress others, and wants to feel superior, as I mentioned earlier. So this is a list of characteristics of bullying perpetrator. While the characteristic of bullying victim, mostly they have low self-esteem and talking or sounding different than others, shy, and having no friends. So but of course it's too general. I mean, it could be generalization, but look, if you have friends or children or neighbor, if they have this following characteristic, probably we need to give more attention. Or if you are a teacher, for example, so you can give more attention to these people, or even they are more potential to be victims later on. And then the characteristic of bullying target. So this is the target for perpetrator to do or to commit the crime. So The first one could be perceived low social status. So for those who have a low social status, this could be the target, especially in a school or in a certain community. And then different in physical appearance, probably in terms of physical or body, they're too big or too small, and different in ethnics as well, faith and culture. This could be the dissimilarity, and this would be the target for perpetrator. And disability as well, also low self-esteem. Again, this is a potential victims for bullying. So I think it's always good to see how we have a good environment, children friendly, for instance, and inclusiveness in institution organizations to avoid any kind of chance for perpetrator to target the potential victims. And I also would like to see to inform you about the causing factors. The causing factors, I think what I learned, there are three main parts of the factors. The first one is family. This is because of a little cohesion in a family, in their family, I mean in the perpetrator family, little worm, absence of fathers or one of the parents, or even overprotective, too protective and authoritarian in their parents, and also tolerance for aggressive behavior. So probably the parents allow them to do aggressive behavior in family or in the daily communication. Lack of parental guidance is a general one, I guess, and also conflict in the home, or KDRT ya, in bahasa. So it could be the most causing factor for perpetrator to transfer the situation or the conditions to their friends at school or in their family, in their community. And also, not to mention, friends and neighborhood. Of course, it also affects the perpetrators to do the misconduct behavior, such as if they have unsafe or aggressive or unorganized environment, it could be the factor for those to do bullying. And also mass media. So this is something that interesting to highlight more. Mass media, as currently happening, I think people can access easily to social media, website, YouTube, or any kind of platforms. Exposing children to violent video games, television, and film is also linked to high level of aggressions, which lead to or result in the bullying action. And also media violence associated also with aggressive and antisocial behavior. So it would be ignite aggressions and also ignite bullying to the potential perpetrator. So I also would like to interact a little bit further with you all about type of bullying. So anybody also want to give some comments about type of bullying? I think there are a lot of type of bullying. So let's discuss further about that. But before that, I also need some feedback or input from you all. What you have known about bullying. So you can see, for example, verbal, name calling, punching. So that's a type of bullying. So you can type again on the chat box, or you can unmute your microphone as far as you know type of bullying, please. So anybody wants to share? Okay, let me look at verbal. Okay, thank you, Mr. Dennis. Verbal, physical, and online. That's interesting. Very representative. So anybody also want to give some comments on type of bullying, please? So you can unmute your microphone, please.
Is it persecution?
Persecutions. Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Social bullying. Okay, Kaifa, that's interesting. Social bullying, racial. Nice. Okay, we got a lot of insight from audience. Anybody wants to add more? Sexual harassment, that's right. Sexual harassment. Power abuse. Interesting. All right. Thanks, guys. So look at now here, the next slide. I have grouped into three kinds of bullying type. Okay, the first one is overt bullying, means direct bullying. So what Mr. Dennis said, or somebody also mentions regarding physical attack or punching or kicking, right? So this type of bullying included to overt bullying, face-to-face, physical action, or even somebody also mentioned verbal bullying, such as name calling or insulting using verbal. So it includes to verbal action. So that's a very what we call visible. People can see it, overt bullying. And the second one is covert bullying. So it is indirect. So people out of sight or acknowledge it because it's not really clear enough. And this really related with mental or physiological harm. So it's not really clear enough. So for example, as somebody's also mentioned about social bullying, means if there is somebody isolated from a group repeatedly, and it will attack his or her mental or physiological condition. So that's one of the example of covert bullying, right? Excluding people from groups, or even spreading lies or rumors regarding persons and making him or her down and probably mentally affected for long term. And the next one, the thing that's of interest, as I also mentioned in the title of my presentation, is cyberbullying. So let me also invite you to interact again. What's the definition, or what can you define about cyberbullying, please? Okay, Aisha raising hand. Please, Miss Aisha.
Cyberbullying is when someone type such a mean comments, usually towards celebrity or person, and they also like type such a racist comment and also a bad comments, something like that. It's called
Interesting.
cyberbullying.
All right, that's interesting, Miss Aisha. So it's related with the online platform, right? So okay, let me look at the chat box. Okay, Optimus Prime mentions online bullying. That's right. Okay, that's very general one, and I think it's covered many types of bullying under online platforms. So let's look at together what I have prepared. So the keyword here, the use of ICT, information and communication technology, means a kind of devices that help us to go online. And fascinatingly, we see here reach a wide audience because, as you're also aware, online there is no physical or geographic boundaries, right? So we can reach and we also can be affected widely in terms of audience exposure, right? And most people who cyberbully also bully offline. So maybe so this is one of the finding from certain research. Most people who cyberbully also bully offline. So probably it's related to the behavior of the perpetrators. And also catching the perpetrator in timely fashion can be difficult, of course, because easily spread, hard to prevent, hard to stop. So yeah, the effect could be wide. And also direct cyberbullying attack victims. Okay, so this one, okay, it's probably the wrong one. Okay, I mean, there are two types here, direct cyberbullying and cyberbullying by proxy. Means in term, this is in the context of cyberbullying. So there are two types of cyberbullying, direct and by proxy. So direct means directly attack victim. So the perpetrator directly attacks victim, while cyberbullying proxy means others wittingly or unwittingly assist the cyberbullying of the victim. So probably we enhance or we make the condition worse because we also get involved in making a negative comments, for instance. So I believe this example just mentions cyberbullying by proxy. So now the solution analysis, what the things that I would like to offer in this occasion. The first one is social or system change. It could be more powerful than individual change. So it would be in the form of improving the environments or the structures in an institutions or in a school. So I think this should be followed. I mean, should be carried out by certain institution, and also a lot of changes could be happens in terms of system. And the next I would like to highlight perceived reward means once the perpetrator commit to the crime, they might get money from the victims and they become more superior because they feel it. So what we can do as a institution or school or even university, we don't tolerate this reward. So means we should create a certain system of punishments, right? So we need to we don't need to give a chance for perpetrator to do more, right? Even we need to limit it or inhibit it. And the last one, active participation who witnessed the crime. So I think now in Indonesian institution, even in universities, they have a certain not customers, kind of student service things to allow students to actively report if they witness the crime or any kind of bullying. When I was in Australia, it's very visible for anyone. A lot of kind of campaign or sort of flyer, even in restroom. So if you're not okay because of sexual assault or any harassment, please report to the student service. Means how serious they are in terms of institution or school or university. So I believe now Indonesian institution also become better in terms of making a change or systemic change to get perpetrator inhibited. And the last one would be legal effort, but I don't think I can explain further because I'm not a legal expert here. But the one that I would like to highlight in the last part of this point is risk mapping. People still worried if they report to police officer, for instance, because they don't want, they probably think that the situation become worse because of competence, lack competency of our institution or our legal, what we call people or institution who serve the legal support, right? So probably should be an NGO or certain organization that can help victims to feel safe in reporting the case, right? But I don't want to do more about this because I'm not legal expert in this area. Okay, but now I think I need also to highlight more in digital literacy because that's what Fansmillenials now concerned. We want to define that digital literacy is ability to read, understand, and operate ICT. So if we relate to the cyberbullying means, that's very strong link between how we can mitigate or we can eliminate any kind of cyberbullying because we have a competency in this ability to read, understand, and operate information and communication technology. Especially now internet user in Indonesia shown 62.1% of total population. This could be a chance to be good things or even to be bad thing because once they don't have any kind of literacy while the internet users become increasing, I think it would be a problem as well. But I think it's a good news based on the literature that I read. Literacy index increased to 3.54% in 2022. So good news that Indonesian people now getting better in terms of literacy index. But let's look at the cyberbullying how they can be resolved. I haven't found the data, unfortunately, about that. Could be next research. So before I close this session, I also would like to give some information regarding 4 pillars of digital literacy. When talking about digital literacy, not only just the ability of reading, understanding, also operating, but we also have the following pillars. The first one is digital skills, is regarding technical thing, I guess. And digital culture is about soft skill. Digital ethics, also soft skill. And digital safety is about understanding about privacy and how we also appreciate or respects others' privacy. Lot of literatures regarding these 4 pillars. You can study more from. I think there is a certain website that explain Visi Indonesia Digital 2045. That's interesting resource. You can dig more. But what now? What Fansmillenials doing? I guess we are focusing on SDM digital or human resource preparation to face digital Indonesian digital 2045 or Indonesia Emas. So we got Fansmillenials Digital Academy. So it's kind of a course that prepare students or prepare participants, especially young generation, to understand about digital literacy and also other supporting skills for their career later on. We provide a syllabus, I think 10 times a meeting, and this include personal branding, product and service branding. This include to digital marketing, I guess, and also political branding. So this interesting field as well, talking about political branding, especially now election 2024 is soon take place, right? So how we also appreciate political branding, right political branding, and how this also can succeed certain people to get elected, for instance. So there is a knowledge behind that as well. As I also mentioned, we have 10 meetings, but it divided into 3 parts: basic leaderships, action learning cycle for self-development. That's a must, I guess, because we need to have a self-learning capability. I mean, long life learning capability. So action learning cycle is one of the principle that people can apply in daily habit, in the daily life, so they can basically improve themselves independently. And also fundamental entrepreneur characters, because we are preparing them to be entrepreneur later on. So it's important to have this understanding or knowledge about entrepreneur. And also creative digital include personal blending, digital marketing, and basic graphic design and video editing. I think this is the last one could be technical skill. For example, using Canva, using Photoshop, using CorelDRAW, Affinity Designer, video editing. I think the easiest one, CapCut, for instance, in our phone. And also the complex one could be what we call Adobe. I forgot the name, but I'm using now Filmora. I think it's between Adobe and CapCut, so it's a little bit friendly to the users. But of course, the result is also in line with the process itself. It's not as fascinating as the Adobe one. So well, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope this gives some insights to everyone joining the session, and we become agents of change. So back to you, Mr. Moderator, please.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Acep. What a very comprehensive thoughts. And also we got many inputs in terms of digital literacy to address cyberbullying. Now we are in a Q&A session. People here, you can raise your hand to ask question or just type it on the comment. For the first, I will give a chance to Mr. G. Is that right, Mr. G?
Okay, thank you for this chance. Wonderful presentation, Mr. Acep. Thank you for the insight. My question is actually about the bully itself. Uh, it is something that I experience myself, and not to me, but to my student. But the question is, how we know that the people, the student or the teen, for the what is called Gen Z, is this is he or she is really the victim of the bully or not? Because as simple as joke, they are very sensitive about it. So it's very hard for me to to what is to differentiate about is this bully or no, because we know as Indonesian we have joke a lot, but sometimes when the receiving do not receive it well, he or she will report it as bully. So how can we uh, make a line, where the line can we choose for that? Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to answer it directly, Mr. Acep?
Okay, if possible, yes, Mr. Moderator, I would like to answer slightly. Okay, thank you, Mr. G, for the inquiry regarding how we differentiate or see how whether there is a perpetrator commit to bullying or there is kind of bullying action there. So yes, I would say comf comfort comfort bullying is hard to see, right? So such as calling out or name calling or insulting is hard to justify. But again, I think back to the recipient or somebody who feel insulted because of that action. Of course, as a teacher, I think it's always good to give understanding about the type of bullying at the beginning. Probably when they are in the first months of their school, they even they should know the line whether just joke or bullying. So when it happens, as you also said, it could be sensitive for those who receive this, and they probably don't want to report it. But we need to give power for those who are insulted, or giving a chance for them to report, or even their friends should report or help them, and then bring them to student service, for instance, and give understanding either to the victims or to the perpetrator. And I think when you say how we differentiate, I think it's clear enough. When it insult and it's repeatedly occurred and by intention, so I think that's clear enough. So that's bullying, verbal bullying or indirect bullying. So I think it's more to indirect one. So covert bullying, as I mentioned, because it attack mentally, right? It's attack mentally. But of course, when you say verbally, such as calling, name calling, or insulting by verbal, it could be overt bullying. So means that direct bullying, but it could be something in between, indirect or direct bullying. So if they mentally affected and it's hard to see, it could be covert bullying. So look at to the victims or the potential victim. If they isolated from the community or from their groups, if this happens, means the cases develop, right? So we need to see the seed or the beginning. So it's good to prevent from the beginning, right? So I think our role as teacher, for instance, giving understanding at the beginning of their first year school or first month study, it should be a kind of learning material during orientation, for instance, student orientation at the beginning. When I was in Australia, when I was doing master degree there, I think the first when I was doing the first month orientation, especially from the scholarship, there is a clear understanding of misconduct or sexual assault or harassment, and this become serious crime at that university or that school. So yeah, I think we have a role as well to give understanding, to give clear definitions about bullying. So I hope this answer your question, Mr. G.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Acep.
No worries.
The conclusion is for me or the teacher itself to learn more about this kind of matter, so we can easily prevent it furthermore.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I guess. Yeah, that's good conclusion, I guess.
All right. For the next, I will give the chance for Mr. Dennis.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Agus. I agree with Mr. G. Wonderful presentation. I love the topic, and it's related. Not only Mr. G, I'm also a teacher, so it's really relatable. The question that Mr. G asked actually similar to my question earlier, but I have another one. Talking about digital literacy, yeah, you know that as you mentioned earlier, that it's the year of politics. So the question is, what's the difference between giving critics and bullying, especially to the famous governmental actor, you know, because sometimes our politics is also not that mature, but sometimes we also need to say that in front of them, because yeah, like corruptors, they don't feel ashamed and they still feel smile even though they go to the jail. But my question is, how can we differentiate? Because like today, when people say, if we criticize people, then what's the solution? I don't think criticize needs to have a solution, but also we do not want to criticize until bullying. So if Mr. G asked about the difference between bullying and making jokes, now I go to the bullying and criticizing. What's the difference, do you think, Mr. Acep? Thank you. Especially we have also the ITE law.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dennis. That's very good, and I think subtle difference between criticizing and bullying. I would say even myself would be I will hand over to everyone and to the literature to explain this. But look, let me give some opinion about this. Yes, I would agree that in our political situation now, I think we are heading to the mature one, right? So what we call idea-based politics or politik gagasan, it should be something that prioritize. Debate is something as a good platform for us to criticize and to give us feedbacks or opinion. But again, sometimes if the content itself is false, for example, so it kind of hoax, and I think that would be a crime or cyber crime, right? Because exactly that spreading lies or spreading false information to audience, and it could be well, like based on the legal or the law, I think it would be kind of perpetrator or commit crime, right? So again, I couldn't give a clear answer about this, Mr. Dennis, but what I would like to also propose to us as a citizens, also to government, in terms of improving the system, right? We know that back again, because I I had experience in developed countries like in Australia, and I believe also Mr. Dennis had experience in US at that time, couple of years ago, right? So when campaigning, for instance, when a candidate campaigning or even the opposition campaigning, there is a kind of what we call sort of legitimation or approval from certain body or institution when they're campaigning, when they're trying to criticize. So it's clear enough in TV, for instance, or in online and another online platform. But this is a formal one, Mr. Dennis. This is formal one. So, for example, in Party A as oppositions, they're trying to give critics or criticize Party B, which is now governing the country, for instance. I think when they're campaigning, they also they receive a kind of approval from certain body. This is a formal critics or formal campaign to criticize the government, for instance. So that's unique in a developed countries like Australia. So this probably to avoid any kind of false information or any kind of cybercrime if it develop further, right? But again, I think it probably doesn't satisfy your question. But again, it's good to to study further, Mr. Dennis, regarding this. Yeah, thank you for the question.
Really, another just one more question, Mr. Acep. Two
Yes,
actually,
please.
really close, not too long. So, what do you think? Like somebody say Mak Banteng, which is Megawati, or let's say Pak Lura, which is Jokowi, or too many wacana for Anies Baswedan, let's say. Is that kind of bullying or it's actually fine? That's number one. And number two, how if I want to join the Fansmillenials Network? Is that free? Is it paid or how? Thank you.
All right, interesting. Wow, interesting. It's a very hot topic currently regarding that. Yeah, from different what we call groups attacking each other with the what we call something that can be criticized, right? Weaknesses of the communities. I mean, the groups, right? Well, when they say like this, I think it's still fine. I mean, from my perspective, as long as doesn't give a false information, and of course it's back to the victim itself because it attacking group, right? Even the personal as well, right? But again, the line to differentiate is probably not clear enough based on our regulation. So hard to answer this question, Mr. Dennis, but I would say I think it's okay as long as they have a proven data. But again, this again opinion, right? When say Banteng, Lura, or too much wacana, right? So again, I think it's the community's opinions regarding their this political strategy, I guess. Too much ideas, for instance, or unfair unfair law, for instance, or yeah, a lot of policy that to probably because of now the election is coming up soon, so a lot of strategy from the governing institution, I mean from the government to pass the law, for instance. So it would be fine as a kind of critics for the government, and I guess so far I didn't see there is a certain group reporting. But of course, when the names or the reputation spoiled, for instance, and it's a really false information, and it's okay for the group to report it, right? Because spreading false information, but as long as it's kind of opinion, I think it's still okay. But again, linking to the bullying, it would be institutional bullying or group bullying. So it would be the next study, I guess, how groups bullyings occur, right, Mr. Dennis? It's kind of institutional bullying. So that thing I didn't discuss in my presentation. It could be the next area of research or discussion. And next, Fansmillenials Network. We actually have a customized program for certain organization. So we prepared youth to contribute to the organization. That's commonly happened. So we partnering with organization or certain community. So we prepare the human resources, probably 5 or sometimes less than 5. So we prepare them, and we actually business to business, like institution to institution. But of course, we'd like to open the general one. But so far, I think the effective one is business to business. So we will clearly understand the needs of the business itself. So probably we need to customize in the syllabus to meet the needs. But of course, I'm happy to also open the public one as long as the audience is sufficient enough to do that, because we know that Fansmillenials now is running this program with other organizations, so probably the time could be the limit. So, but probably if they 2 or 3 people, I would like to invite them to join the ongoing one. So it's okay because we have a general part, so they will receive knowledge and skills with other people from different organizations as well. So that's totally fine. So just contacting me if somebody here wants to join us and learn about what we call digital literacy, skill and knowledge training, or personal branding or digital marketing from Fansmillenials. Thanks, Mr. Dennis.
All right. A very good discussion. I've seen that some of participants still want to ask questions. Unfortunately, we are out of time for Q&A session for tonight. You can probably ask the question if you are lucky in the breakout room, or maybe you can ask directly after this to Mr. Acep. Is that right? So now we are in a big breakout room. I guess the breakout room will be handled by Mr. Dennis, since I didn't have experience to like make the room for breakout room. Then again, thank you, Mr. Acep, for the presentation. Then we continue to breakout room.
Thank you, Mr. Agus. So now we are going to the breakout rooms. Miss Aisha is still here. So I might put Miss Aisha together with Mr. Acep, since you raised hand before. Yeah. And no worries, Miss Elita. Take care, Mr. Elita. Before we put you into breakout room, I think we have 3 participants. Let me just double check. Mr. Tubagus Iqbal Maulana, can you please introduce yourself, sir? And how do you know this program from, please?
Okay. Good night, everyone. Can you guys hear my voice?
Yeah, we can hear your voice.
Okay. Okay. My name is Tubagus Iqbal Maulana from IPB University. I know this program from Mr. Dennis. So Mr. Dennis give the information from WhatsApp, so that I could join this event. So thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Iqbal. Thank you for your introduction. I think after that we also have Mr. or Miss Akai. Are you the...
It's Kaifa.
Oh, that's Kaifa. Sorry, Kaifa. Who else here? Miss Prapti, is this the first one or this is not the first time? I don't think it's the first time. Is it, Miss Prapti?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Dennis.
This is not the first time, right?
Perhaps 3 or second time, maybe
Second time, yeah. You already introduced yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Prapti. Okay, I think everyone else already, Mr. Tariq, Mr. G, Mr. Azam, Mr. Nabil, Mr. Altamis, I believe the A1, Mr. Kaifa, Miss Aisha, Miss Prapti, Miss Z, Mr. Matt, and Miss Kia, and also the Optimus Prime. Okay, so for the newest participant, Mr. Iqbal, we are going to put you into breakout rooms. In the first breakout room, I'm gonna put you together, but in the second breakout room, if you wanna be with someone, you may. Yeah. So now we have 16. I will divide them into 8. Okay, and I will put Miss Aisyah together with Mr. Acep. Okay, in room 1, there will be Mr. G and Optimus Prime. Room 2, there will be Miss Z and Mr. Agus. In room 3, there will be Mr. Azam and Kia. Room 4, there will be Mr. Nabil and Mr. Tariq and Mr. Iqbal. In room 5, there will be Mr. Acep and Miss Aisyah. Room 6, there will be Kaifa and Miss Prapti. In room 6, there will be Mr. Mad and I believe it's Altamis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
15 minutes to discuss in the breakout rooms. And it begins now. Okay, we're gonna make another breakout rooms, but now you can choose your room for the second chance, yeah?
Yeah, but waiting for the other. I think they are not.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the others. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't finished. Oh no.
Sorry. Actually, before we go to the breakout room, let's take a group picture first. I forgot to take a group picture. So if you can turn your camera on, we're gonna take a group picture together. Okay. 3, 2, and 1. Marvelous. So now I'm gonna put you into second breakout room. And in this session, now you can choose your own partner. Yeah. Yeah. And 15 minutes.
Reva, one room again.
There will be recreate. Allow participants to choose room. Wait, how can I recreate it? Assign manually. Let participants choose room. Okay. And 15 minutes begin now.
Choose this one.
Karta bisa naik kereta kendaraan. Ya maksudnya kan gampang itu Jogja mah murah makanan.
Okay, welcome back all. Sorry, I'm using my avatar because my son is actually sleeping next to me. So, Mr. Acep, for the last thing you want to say about bullying, would you mind, please?
All right. Thank you very much for the chance, Mr. Dennis. Yes, I think bullying or cyberbullying itself now really related with children mostly because they have a certain stage of their life and they're probably unstable. So as parents or probably teachers, it's good to prepare and we give the best education for them. So as Franklin D. Roosevelt quote, he said that we may not be able to prepare the future for our children, but we can at least prepare our children for the future. So that's probably the last statement from me, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Acep. Does anyone else? No, not anyone else. Sorry, my mind's not here. Okay, so now thank you very much, Mr. Acep. We're gonna choose the new presenter or moderator. I wanna ask, is there any of you? want to be a presenter or moderator for tonight? I mean for next week? Please don't choose somebody else. Choose yourself. Yeah, it's part of bullying too.
Mamat, Mamat.
So anybody wants to be a volunteer?
Mamat itu presenter.
Say it again, Nabil.
No.
You want to be the presenter? I've heard.
No, Mamat
moderator.
presenter.
I thought that you are volunteering. Mr. Agus, do you want to be a presenter? Because you turn on your microphone. I thought. Okay, no worries. If nobody has volunteered tonight, I'm gonna put them back to the group. Yeah, it's actually fine, because again, I do not want to force people. So thank you very much for Mr. Acep one more time, and also Mr. Agus as the moderator. We're gonna nominate the presenter and the moderator for next week in the WhatsApp group. For Mr. Iqbal, if you want to join our group later, we are going to send you the link. So, okay. To finish our sessions tonight, if you can turn your microphone again, or you can turn on your avatar, that would be great. Let's take a group picture together. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, thank you all. See you next week with the new presenter, topic, and moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a great night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh.